Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Simple English Stories. I'm your host, Alex.
And I'm Mia. We are so glad you could join us today.
Today, we're talking about something that can be a little scary for everyone, not just English learners. We are talking about the art of small talk.
Oh, small talk. Just hearing the words can make some people nervous. That little conversation you have while waiting for coffee or at the start of a business meeting.
Exactly. I remember one time I was in an elevator with my boss's boss. It was just the two of us for 10 floors. I completely panicked.
Oh no, what did you say?
I just said, "This elevator is fast."
Oh, Alex, that's a classic. We've all been there. We feel awkward, we don't know what to say, and we just want the conversation to end.
Right. But the good news is, small talk is a skill, and like any skill, you can learn it and get better with practice.
That's our goal for today. We're going to give you some simple, easy-to-use tools to make small talk less scary and maybe even fun.
Okay, so first things first, what exactly is small talk?
That's a great question. Small talk is light, informal conversation about topics that are not deep or controversial. Think of it as a friendly way to start a conversation with someone you don't know very well.
So, you probably shouldn't talk about politics or your deepest personal problems.
Exactly. The goal isn't to have a life-changing discussion. The goal is to be friendly, to break the silence, and to build a small connection with the other person.
Right. It's like building a little bridge between you and another person. You use it at parties, at work with colleagues, when you meet a new neighbor, or even with the cashier at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. And it's so important. It shows you're open and friendly. It makes people feel comfortable around you. In a professional setting, it can even help you build better relationships and opportunities.
So true. It's a basic building block of social interaction. So, where do we start? How do we know what to talk about?
Well, I am so glad you asked. We have a fantastic, easy-to-remember method for you. It's called the Ford method. Ford, like the Ford car brand.
FORD. I like it. It sounds simple. What does it stand for?
Each letter stands for a safe and easy topic you can talk about. F is for family.
Family. Okay, so you can ask questions like, do you have any brothers or sisters? Or if you know they have kids, how are your children doing?
Perfect. These are light, friendly questions. Next, O is for occupation. This means someone's job or what they do.
Ah, the classic, so what do you do? It's a very common question.
It is. You can also ask, how long have you been doing that? Or what's the most interesting thing about your job? This shows you are actually interested.
That's a great tip. Okay, so we have F for family, O for occupation. What's R?
R is for recreation. This is all about fun, hobbies, sports, interests, what people do when they are not working.
This is my favorite one. You can ask, what do you do for fun? Or have you seen any good movies lately? Or are you following the World Cup?
Yes, people usually love to talk about their hobbies. It lets you see a different side of them.
Okay, that leaves D. What is the D in Ford?
D is for dreams. Now, this doesn't mean asking about their secret hopes and fears. It's a lighter version.
Right, so it's more about future plans. Like, do you have any fun vacations planned? Or are you working on any exciting projects right now?
Exactly. It's about positive, forward-looking topics. So there you have it. Ford. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. 4 simple topics that can fuel a conversation.
That is super helpful. It gives you a mental checklist of safe topics. But Mia, asking questions is only half of the conversation, isn't it?
That's such an important point, Alex. It's not an interview where you just ask question after question. You also have to listen. This is called active listening.
Active listening. What does that mean in practice?
It means you are fully focused on what the other person is saying. You're not thinking about your next question or what you want to say. You are genuinely hearing them.
And you have to show them you're listening.
Mm-hmm. You can do this with your body language, like nodding your head, and you can do it with small words like, uh-huh, wow, or I see.
That makes the other person feel heard.
It does. Another huge part of active listening is asking follow-up questions. For example, if someone says they like hiking, don't just move on.
Right. You could ask, "Oh, that's cool. Where do you usually go hiking?" Or "Have you been on any memorable hikes recently?"
Exactly. That shows you were listening and you are interested in their answer. It turns a simple question and answer into a real conversation. And try to share something about yourself, too. It should be a balance.
So if they say they like hiking, I could say, "That's awesome. I've always wanted to try hiking more. I usually just go for runs in the park."
Perfect. That's called finding common ground. It makes the conversation feel much more natural and friendly.
Okay, so we have our FORD topics, and we know we need to be good active listeners. But let's go back to the very beginning. How do you start the conversation in the first place? That first sentence can be the hardest.
It really can. One of the easiest ways is to comment on your shared environment. You are both in the same place at the same time, so you have that in common.
So if you're at a party, you could say, "I love the music they're playing," or "This food is delicious, isn't it?"
Yes, or if you're waiting in a long line, you could say with a smile, "Wow, it's a popular place today." It's simple and it's not too personal.
Another good starter is asking a simple question. If you are at a conference, for example, you can ask, "So, what did you think of the last speaker?" Or "What brings you to this event?"
Those are great because they are open-ended questions. They invite the other person to say more than just yes or no.
Okay, so starting is one challenge. But what about the other side? How do you end the conversation politely without just walking away?
Yes, the graceful exit. It's very important. A great way is to give a simple, positive closing statement and a reason for leaving.
Can you give us an example?
Sure, you can say, "Well, it was so nice talking with you. I need to go grab a drink before the next session starts."
That's perfect. It's polite, it's friendly, and it clearly signals the conversation is over. You could also say, "I don't want to take up all of your time. It was great to meet you."
I like that one. And if you want to see the person again, you can suggest the next step. "It was great chatting. We should connect on LinkedIn."
Right. The key is to smile and be warm. It leaves the other person with a good feeling.
Wow, that was a lot of great information, Alex. Let's do a quick recap for our listeners.
Let's do it. First, remember that small talk is a skill you can learn. It's about building small bridges with people.
Second, if you don't know what to talk about, use the FORD method: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Third, be an active listener. Pay attention, ask follow-up questions, and show you are engaged. A conversation is a two-way street.
And finally, have a simple plan to start a conversation by commenting on your surroundings and a polite way to end it.
The most important tip of all is to practice. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Start small. Try making small talk with one person this week.
You can do it. Remember to be curious, be yourself, and smile.
That's all the time we have for today on Simple English Stories. Thank you so much for listening.
We'll be back next week with a new topic to help you on your English learning journey. Until then, happy chatting.